Well, howdy diddly dandy there, chums, 'tis I, Captain of the Steves, and today, chums, for you guys and the viewerverse, we're going to be talking about the holiday expeditions of 2025. Yeah, so this is where Hello Games normally goes on holiday for their Christmas, and we should see them return around mid to late January, and then usually an update late January, early Feb. But yeah, this is where they down tools, and what they leave us with is reduxes. We get to rerun all of the expeditions from the previous year normally. However, there's a slight twist to that. Also, another slight twist, this is November 7th. Normally, this doesn't happen till the end of November. Well, that's because we've got 5 rerun expeditions with this bonus one that we have right now that we can be running, which is thanks to, and it says here, today is November 7th, a significant day for fans of Mass Effect. Yes! So I did a whole speculation video around N7 Day. Now, it wasn't exactly my idea per se in a roundabout way. I mean, I had somebody hit me up and say, Captain Steve, what do you think of this idea about Mass Effect? And I was like, yeah, that's interesting. I looked into it, saw that there was decent tie-ins, done a whole video on it, gave credit where credit is due on the very first video I did with all the polls and things. So yeah, very interesting to see that this has now actually landed, and it was that came in. But yeah, you know what I'm a little bit sad not to see up here? There is no mention of a Nintendo Switch 1. And I've already gone through this patch notes list, still no mention of Nintendo Switch 1. And what's happening for Nintendo Switch? Nothing. Not a frickin' Scooby. And I think that's bang out of order, because there's a lot of people that are probably on Nintendo Switch thinking, I wouldn't mind upgrading to a Nintendo Switch 2 for Christmas and maybe getting onto No Man's Sky, but all this good stuff, all these Corvettes might come to Switch, so it could be a waste of money. It's a big investment if we're going to get it on the Switch 1. Hello Games just needs to tell people it's not coming to the Switch 1, if that's the case, but we don't know for sure, do we? But anyway, it says here, following Beachhead, it has become customary we'll be rerunning this year's expedition over 2 weeks intervals. Okay, we'll get to that in a moment. Over the holiday season, over Thanksgiving, Christmas, and through the middle of January. There we go. So hopefully this will be ending around mid-Jan. We'll have a look at the date on the last of these. But if you look at the 7th of November to the 18th of November, that's what, 11 days, isn't it? It's not quite 2 weeks. So although that the expedition is saying that you've got 2 weeks right now to run Beachhead, you actually have about 10 days right now remaining. 10 days remaining right now, because it's the 8th, isn't it? So actually no, it's the 7th. We've got 11 days. 11 days, or 10 give or take, because we're halfway through today. So yeah, it's a lot less than 2 weeks anyway, by 4 days, which is quite a lot. So anyway, run it, basically. Something you're going to find though is when you get to phase 5, Hello Games have put in a time gate, and it's only sitting at 30% complete at the moment. Now, for Hello Games to put a time gate on a limited timed expedition that's over a festive holiday period, where people might only be able to log in for certain times and could miss out on this thanks to the frickin' time gate after doing the majority of the expedition, I feel is a pretty bad move. To the point that I would say that Beachhead, even though they're not calling these reduxes this year, they're calling this a remixed expedition. Beachhead, now you start on a freighter. It's basically Polestar, apart from they've ripped all the guts out of Polestar and its soul, and they've thrown in some bits and bobs in there that I think are going to have people frustrated to fudge. There is one mission, for example, where you have to catch fish on an ice planet. Yeah, and those fish have to be biome locked to the ice planet, and they have to be better than common, so uncommon and above. It took me about 30 minutes, and I enjoy the fishing, to catch 5 frozen uncommon fish. 30 minutes for one milestone. God. And then there was other milestones in there, like the rescuing of the stranded life form. Well, if you ever do the stranded life form Quicksilver missions, which we've done to death, you assist the life form, they tell you to go and dig something up. You dig it up, you take it back to them, and then they fly off in their ship, all fixed. The mission didn't tell you to interact with the ship. and I didn't interact with the ship. I started digging stuff up and couldn't find the part, and I thought the mission was bugged. Wasn't the case. Anyway, I've done videos on it and all sorts of stuff, and how I managed to get a workaround to work, even though the workaround was a bit convoluted. Anyway, the next one is going to be Titan. That's going to run from the 19th of November to the 2nd of December. So, I mean, I quite enjoyed Titan. Titan was pretty darn good. I mean, the first time we did Titan, what it didn't have was the ability to lock onto the different moons around gas giants. So trying to chart every moon of a gas giant was a nightmare. Now we have that. That should be a lot easier. I'm kind of looking forward to rerunning that one. I hope they find us a real nice gas giant with some amazing moons inside of a cool purple system. I'm looking forward to running Titan. That one I'm looking forward to. Okay, Relics. Okay, a lot of people want Relics as a rerun, mainly because there's 5 bones that you cannot get inside of your catalogue anyway, love nor money, apart from inside of the Relics expedition. So let's see if you can get them. There we are. So Relics, I will be running it to see if I can get the bones on my legacy save by some miracle. So I will be running that one as well, which looks like it could be a fun one. Corvette, 17th of December to the 30th of December. This is the one that I'm probably not going to do. And the reason being is I'm actually away from the 16th of December to the 23rd of December. And then when I do get back, it's going to be Christmas time. And I very much doubt I'm going to get a chance to run that one. So I might not have a video for that. So we'll see though. I mean, I might be able to squeeze it in. Highly unlikely. The next one is Breach. And that runs from the 31st of December to the 13th of January. We've only just finished Breach just the other day. And they cut it short by a week. And on PlayStation, it didn't start for a week late. So if you're on PlayStation 4, I'd imagine that this one you're going to really want to rerun because you might not have managed to get to finish it. And it did have a few bugs on launch that took a little while to get fixed. It was in a good state, but there was people being jettisoned across space and all sorts of weirdness happening. I would like to rerun that one just for my own sanity, to be honest. And I'm hoping that it's going to be bug-free and seamless. So Breach, yeah, I'm kind of looking forward to that one again. But there we go. There's a massive roster of lovely stuff coming into the verse, which is cool. You go down to the development update down here, and they chat a little bit about Light No Fire, but there's no real news on Light No Fire. Just if you haven't wishlisted it, please wishlist it, you know, that sort of thing. But no new news there. A couple of patch notes here as well, which is pretty cool, which is nice to see that they are still working on a few fixes and stuff like that. Fixed a physics crash, fixed a multi-thread crash. They haven't mentioned anything about this black screen issue that I was getting. And apparently that's been happening on multiple platforms, not just on PC. Maybe I've just been very lucky to avoid it on PS5, because I've even had PS5 players telling me that they're getting the black screen that I've been getting on my PC. So anyway, people, that's pretty much everything inside the patch notes for 6.15. However, I'm fairly sure when I actually downloaded and installed the latest update, it actually was 6.16 anyway. So, bit of an odd one, but whatever. It's not actually on the release log yet, but on PlayStation 5 it was 6.16, this latest update. There we go, at least we've had some patch notes now, we know why. The previous Breach update was cut short. It was cut short due to Mass Effect and 7 Day, and I think it's pretty cool to see new players being given the chance to get the Normandy as a frigate. It's a very cool frigate. It's indestructible. Send it away on your missions. Hopefully it might come back with some sort of dream aerial, and then you can get yourself some living frigates as well. But yeah, it's a great one to send away on missions. I think does it use less frigate fuel or no frigate fuel? I know it can't get destroyed anyway. It's a great one. Until next time, people, enjoy running these Reduxes. Enjoy these remixed Reduxes. At that, I can't wait to see what they do with the others. If they are remixing them, at least it makes it a little bit more replayable for those that played them the first time. But yeah, so it's Monday. Goodbye, and goodbye again. Stand up in the comments. What do you think? How are you feeling about this year's roster?